This is Palatki, another Sinagua Indian site, and right now I'm heading up to the main dwelling. It's up this staircase, and I cannot imagine a more beautiful place for a home. Oh my gosh, these cliffs are just amazing. Everywhere here is just amazing. Palatki was home to the Sinagua people, who occupied the Verde Valley region from the years 650 to around 1400. These cliff dwellings were common with the Sinagua people. There are well over 100 known dwellings throughout the area, although most of them are in much more worn condition. This site has been preserved largely because its placement below a larger overhang that has protected it from much of the weather. Sadly, the earliest known photographs have shown that 70 to 90% of the site has disappeared. Palatki was homesteaded in the early 1900s, and it appears a few of the home sites were created with the stones. The cliff faces almost directly south, great for capturing the winter sun. There are two main pueblos here. The west alcove must be viewed from a distance, while the east alcove can be seen up close. The east alcove consists of 5 rooms, and 3 of these rooms had a second story. Palatki has not had any archaeological digs. However, many historic items have been found simply on the room floors. And a few other things have been uncovered by storms, and a few by digging rodents and squirrels. Believe it or not, this corncob is 800 years old. I am headed up to a sacred pictograph site. Now, pictographs are different from petroglyphs because petroglyphs are chiseled into the rock, and pictographs are actually painted onto the rock. This pictograph site, like many, is sacred, so I probably won't do a lot of talking, oh my gosh. Look at this overhang. Oh, wow. The grotto at Palatki is one of the most treasured sites in the Verde Valley because every Native American group to have lived here have left their mark. The oldest known pictographs here are believed to be 5,000 to 6,000 years old. From prehistoric to modern Yavapai and Apache, all have worshipped here. The pigments used range from white to red to black. The more abstract symbols are from the Archaic period and are anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 years old. There are many more recognizable images here. Animal symbols are abundant. This squiggly line is thought to represent the view of the peaks to the east as seen from the grotto. The position of the sun just to the south of the flat butte corresponds with the winter solstice. Some of the most interesting images are these black inverse images. These were originally painted white. However, fires in the alcove with their heat and smoke heated up the animal fats used in the paint, attracting the soot and creating a glaze that makes these unique. This symbol is of a marriage-age woman and is common at many area petroglyph sites. The circles on either side of her head are hair buns, a style copied by Princess Leia. Honanki is just 5 miles down the road from Palatki and is one of the largest Sinagua pueblos in the Verde Valley. Although the Sinagua people lived in this area beginning around 650, the pueblo as you see it today wasn't built until around 1100, and by 1300 the Sinagua had abandoned this location. As with Palatki, Honanki was built under the protection of a large alcove which preserved it. These buildings once stood 2 stories tall. There were as many as 72 rooms in all. Some rooms were just for food storage, while others were family group living spaces. The Sinagua people were agrarian, growing maize, squash, beans, and cotton. They were master weavers and wore cotton clothing with intricate colors. Everywhere you look at Honanki are pictographs. Over 2,000 pictographs and petroglyphs have been documented here. As with Palatki, some of these images are thousands of years old and were placed here by archaic peoples. The images that really caught my attention were the hands. There are many human-shaped pictographs created by shamans many centuries ago, still watching over their ancient home. Again, these walls are just constructed with rock and mud and water. And if you look very closely, you can see the handprints and fingerprints of the people who pushed the mud into the rocks here. What you're looking at is handprints that are 800 years old. I just, I can't get over how amazing.